Everybody ready to go?
No.
Waiting on Landon.
It's too cold. You didn't even finish your homework.
It's
You have homework?
We didn't have
Yeah, we
homework.
have homework.
Oh, you were gone, so you have homework.
Yeah.
Nobody else had homework.
Cold. I got it done.
All right, I'll come grab that after the lesson here, Landon.
Or I can just bring it up to you.
I guess that would work. Guess we'll just operate on your time.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Landon, why didn't you put it in there?
You can just put it in that tray, Landon. Second one from the top.
Why can't we do a coloring worksheet again?
Listen, bro, Logan, you know your room is really hot today?
Yep.
Are you crazy?
I'm sweating.
All right, so we're gonna work on writing
You're working so hard doing
and
that.
evaluate expressions today. All right, so it says test the general pattern for consecutive numbers represented by the expressions x, x plus 1, and x plus 2. Yep.
Yeah, I'm a better hunter than you. I said I'm a better hunter than you.
We can have this conversation later.
Oh, my legs are cold.
All right.
Cold. I shot a bigger deer than you.
All right, so we're going to test the general pattern for consecutive numbers represented by the expressions x, x plus 1, and x plus 2 by selecting 3 consecutive numbers from the number line. So we want to pick 3 consecutive numbers. Which numbers do we want to pick?
Is it a number?
Should we just start here?
7 and 6.
Well, 3 of them, so let's start with -7, -6, and -5. Would be 3 consecutive numbers.
Huh?
Consecutive means in a row.
Oh, that is consecutive.
So 3 consecutive numbers. All right, so now we're going to prove the general pattern is true for these. So our first number we picked was -7, so that'll be x. So x equals -7. All right. And now what's x plus 1? We have -7 plus 1.
Negatively. It'd be -6.
It'd be -6.
That's close.
If I was $7 in the hole and I paid $1 back, now I'm at -6. So using that same logic, x is -7. What's x plus 2?
-5.
-5. All right, so does that work for 3 consecutive numbers?
Yeah.
I do, right? We got the same answers as the numbers we picked. All right, 2 says select a different set of 3 consecutive numbers from the number line. What are the 3 consecutive?
-4, -3, and -2.
Let's skip over here. How about we do -2
-1 and 0.
and 0? How do we feel about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now our first number is -2, so x equals -2. All right. What would -2 plus 1 be?
-1.
-1. And what's -2 plus 2?
0.
0. So does that hold true as well?
Yes.
Yep. That works. All right, so anytime we add 1, we're going to the right on our number line, the next number. Anytime we'd subtract 1, we'd be going left. All right. On the back page, activity 2, it says test the general pattern for consecutive numbers represented by the same expression. So x, x plus 1, and x plus 2 for 3 consecutive numbers, and we're going to make the first number x again. So what numbers? Let's get something in the middle here. How about like 22, 23, and 24 is what we're going to pick. All right. So our first number we picked was 22, so x equals 22. What's 22 plus 1?
23.
What's 22 plus 2?
24.
Still working? Still working. All right. How about 3 more set of numbers? What do we want to pick for this one?
44, 45, and 46.
All right, 44, 45, and 46. So our first number is x. X equals 44. What's 44 plus 1?
45,
45. And what's 44 plus 2?
46.
46. We're still hanging strong. All right.
Oh, it's freezing in here.
No way.
This is actually easier than our other work.
Easier than the other work. Well, that's good. It means we get it. All right. On this back page, it wants us to select 3 shaded numbers from the grid, and we have to write 3 different sets of expressions for these numbers.
Asia, why did you just say it was easy?
All right. Let's do this first one together. Let's pick these bottom 3. Let's do 78, 88, and 98. All right. If x equals 88, or 78, our first number. What do we have to do to 78 to get to 88?
Plus 1.
78 plus 1 would be 79. So we'd have to add 10. All right, and then from 78, what would we have to do to get to 98?
Plus 10.
78 plus 10 is 88.
20.
So 20. X plus 20.
Can use them in.
Yep. All right, now if x equals 88,
Oh, I'm slow down a little bit.
all right. Your world, Landon.
We're all just living in it. Straight up.
Straight up.
We're going to McDonald's tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll just low.
You driving?
In a couple months.
That's
If you
even
wanna give me
scarier.
$40 for gas, I got a deal for that. Probably hold on, does.
As long as you got
It's gonna take $40 of gas to get to McDonald's.
Guys,
Thing's
going
empty.
without me?
Well, you don't
Well,
have to fill it to the brim to take us.
That's
in.
not money. You got a car.
Unless you plan on getting stuck on the way.
All right, we ready to go now?
Tell that thing literally up to 80.
Everybody got the first line down?
No.
Come on, Landon.
I'm sorry. Ada's complaining about her knee.
No, he
You're the one-
just left me out.
Someone just go up and drop it for me.
All right, so if
She'll drop kick your face.
x equals 88, how would we get to 78?
X minus 10.
X minus 10 would get us to 78. If x is 88, how do we get to 88?
Plus 10.
88 plus 10 is 88.
Oh, no. 1.
88 plus 1 is
Zero.
88. It's just 0, so it's just x.
0. Jeez, I had it.
All right?
Take him
Now, how do we get from 88 to 98?
X plus 20. No, X plus 10.
X plus 10 would get us there. All right, now the last one, if x is 98,
How does this make sense? I don't get it. Like, it's just numbers against numbers against numbers. Like, it does not make
that
sense.
is math. It's just numbers against numbers against numbers.
My hands are cold.
My everything's cold. All right,
Why are you guys cold? It's really hot.
so if x is 98, how do we get to 78?
I'm already done. Minus X
20.
minus 20.
X minus 20. All right,
X minus 10.
got it down. So if x is 98, to get to 88, we have to minus 10.
Hold on.
And then it's X.
Where did this come from?
Here.
The semicolon?
Where did all of this come from? It just went from 3 numbers to this. I
So
don't
you know
get it.
98 minus 20 would equal 78. And then 98 minus 10 would equal 80. And then X would just be 90.
That's still wrong. No, it
Nope,
isn't.
that's absolutely right.
I didn't know I was right, Asia.
You know you're
Asia was right. You were not.
Yeah, I'm always right,
No,
Landon.
you're not.
Landon, I can expose you right now.
Do it. Do it.
About
Let's
what?
stay on topic, guys. Let's stay on track.
Do it. Do it.
All right, so let's do this.
Everybody
Huh?
already knows that.
Oh, yeah, you-
All right, so let's pick 3 numbers from this next one now. We're going to do the same thing we just did.
I picked the numbers.
Sure, what do you want? Shaded numbers.
45, 55, and 66.
44, 55, and 66.
Yes.
So these are our 3 numbers here. So this first one, x equals 44. How do we get to 44?
Can you,
You gotta
like,
move
move
your
it
hair
down?
up.
I can't do that.
I've got the eyes that can move everywhere.
That's unfortunate. All right, so if x is 44, how do we get to 44?
X.
X. We just write x.
Where does the X come from?
It's 0.
X equals 44. So then to show 44, we just write x.
I don't need to put. What? You're walking just fine.
So you know how X equals 44? How would you get to 44? You just put X.
You're walking just fine, Asia.
All right, now if we're at 44, if x equals 44, how do we get to 55?
Plus 10.
44 plus 10 would be 54.
Plus 11.
Plus 11. So x plus 11 would equal 55. All right, and if x is 44, how do we get to 66?
Plus 22.
X plus 22. So now for those next 2 lines, we have x equals 55 and x equals 66. Why don't you guys try and fill in our expressions there?
What?
So in the second line, x equals 55. And third line, x equals 66. How would we get our expressions to equal the other sets of numbers? Or the other numbers in our set?
It's just X plus 11 again.
Shush.
Wait, where does the 44 come from? It's always
That's the
like,
numbers we picked.
so are you like adding to there and then adding to that?
Yeah, but set of two numbers and we'll find the manipulating to get our other two numbers.
It's just 22 again.
Well, x plus 22, y plus 55, that'd be 77. It's not in a
It's
set,
just 11 again.
but not adding.
Minus.
There we go.
Where does the minus come from?
That's how you get 44.
I'm gonna have so many questions if this is our homework.
I think you're gonna have so many questions either way.
Looks like it's snowing outside.
It is. And I'm happy, but at the same time I'm not.
Just keep yelling, Landon.
Huh?
You just keep yelling.
Landon,
Yeah.
Such an angry little
now I
one.
can walk
A little.
normal.
I can't really read it.
You can't read it either.
I'm just not supposed to bend it.
I can read it.
But like I can walk normally, it just like.
Alright, everybody got something down?
No.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I write it?
No, I wanna write
No.
it.
I'll write it.
Yes.
See, I don't know how to do 66, so I just left it blank.
So then you don't have.
I do got it down. I got 55 down. I finished.
Alright, let's talk about
Do that on
55.
homework. Just leave one blank.
No.
Alright, so if x is 55, how do we get to 44?
Minus 11.
X minus 11.
No,
All right, Landon.
plus.
Landon, if x is 55, how do we get to 55?
Minus 12, minus 22.
So 55 minus 22 is 55?
No, it's plus.
Minus 0.
55 plus 22 is 55?
No. 55
No.
minus 0.
0.
Plus
I know.
It's just x.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any
If
sense.
x is 55, we can show 55 by just writing x. Because we're given that right here. X is 55. So to show 55, we just write x. Alright, if x is 55, how do we get to 66?
Plus 11.
X plus 11.
I'll stop talking.
Where's the 6? Oh, wait, what?
Because these are the numbers we picked.
Do you
How is that
have
possible?
the fan on?
Yes. Fan makes it warmer.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
It is actually really warm in here. I don't
Why are you
know.
wearing a sweatshirt then if it's really warm?
I
I
always
should
wear
go get
sweaters.
my
Alright.
coat.
If x is 66, let's keep moving here. How do we get to 44?
Minus 22.
X minus 22 would equal 44. Alright, if x is 66, how do we get to 55?
Minus 11.
X minus 11. Alright, Landon, if x is 66, how do we get to 66?
X.
There we go.
I'm so smart.
Alright, we just write x to show.
I can carry. What's the
66.
spelling bee?
I don't know.
This isn't even the spelling bee.
No comment on that one.
We're done with their notes.
The math
Alright, that's our notes.
Is it homework time?
It is homework time.
Yes. Spelling bee. Can I have my homework?
Can we cross off? Is there an activity 4?
We should do math.
You want to see what my bone looks like?
Ew. You want to see what my bone looks like? It's weird. My bone can move all over.